Believe it or not, sometimes things just don't go to plan. And today's video is about just that. Sometimes we can plan and have this great outlook of what our project's going to be for, and in the end, it just goes completely opposite. But first, we got to get some wood milled up. Well, we got us a small change of plan. I was going to mill all the wood out for this project out of this one slab, but I cut it up and I could make this wood drier by soaking it with a sponge. It is really, really wet. I was told it was drier than that when I bought it. That's what you get for not taking your own wood moisture meter to where you buy your wood from. So this is going to have to dry a little bit. But in the meantime, I do have a couple of other pieces of walnut here that I'm going to mill up for the bottom of the bed that I was going to use one of these pieces. So I think it'll work out fine. It's just going to take a little longer than planned, but stick and move, stick and move. All right, so I got the bottom supports milled up. They are all, roughly the same size. Now it's onto the main support structure for the bed. And like I said before, this stuff was super wet when I cut it. So I painted the ends, I clamped it up, trying to keep it as flat as possible for a few weeks, couple, 3, 6, I don't even know how long it's been, but it's been a while. So I'm gonna unclamp these and try to figure out where I'm gonna cut the notches. And then we gotta do the big task of drilling that damn hole all the way through there, which is gonna be a little tricky, but we're gonna figure it out. This project first came to light when I was sitting in my chair one day and looked and thought, you know what? I think I could make a bed for my dog that really matches the style of the dining room table build that I did about a year ago. Our little Yorkie, whose name is Joe, one of his favorite things is to lay in between your legs. If you have a blanket laid across your legs, kind of in a suspension, and he calls it his hammock, which, yes, I've heard him actually call it his hammock. He will make it his one goal in life to lay in that one spot, no matter whose inconvenience it might be. So I quickly drew up this project in my head, which I typically always do first, is draw it in my head, and everything looks perfect in my head, of course. So then the next logical step is I have to draw it out on paper to try to get the proportions correct, and then move on to actually bringing this project into real life. As I will share with you here in just a second, all of these attempts at drilling these holes without using the proper tools is our first lesson in life for building these types of projects. You really need the tools that are required to do the job. If you try to cut corners, it a lot of times is going to come back to bite you in the ass. As much as I would love to say I could drill a perfectly straight hole with these 6-inch auger bits, that would be a miracle, I think, because I just don't have the setup to be able to do that. But I tried it because I'm a tight ass and I didn't want to buy an expensive bit. Well, guess what? I had to go buy an expensive bit. This big old sucker. It's the size I need, also the length. So I'm going to try to straighten these holes by drilling all the way through these all at once this time. And hopefully I don't break anything. We'll see. So now I got most of the framing sanded up, rough sanded anyway, up to about 120 or so. Now I get the fun task of sanding in between here, which, that'll be a lot of fun. Glued some sandpaper on a board here, gonna get to work. So yeah, wish me luck. This is gonna take a while. I did already get one of these pipes in there, and it turns out the best tool for the job is this here, the old copper pipe putter inner thingy persuader. Just can't be scared. Put a little wax in these holes. We're gonna hope for the best. I've already tested this one side. I'm gonna put these copper colored grommets in here, and then I'm gonna sew a little pocket across here, and I'm gonna use one of these little bicycle safety flag fiberglass rods, put that in there to give it some structure so it doesn't wanna just scrunch up every time the dog tries to get in it. I'm not a seamstress by any means, so I'm not very good at pinning this on here. So I bought this cheap temporary hem bonding tape. It's basically like double stick tape for cloth, and it says if you wash it, it's water soluble, so it washes away, which I thought was kind of neat. This is my first time using Osmo. And as you can see by the tiny, tiny little can, I'm a tight ass. So after some back and forth, it's time to finally get this thing laced up after a couple of wardrobe changes and whatnot. So I'm gonna lace this up the best that I can. Again, the dog weighs 5 pounds, so I think it's gonna be okay no matter how bad I botch this up. So we'll see. As we're almost finished with this project, we have the last little lesson that I got reinforced into my head in this project is sometimes life just says, it's not going to work that way. Even though I built this quote unquote dog bed for my little Yorkie Joe, turns out he doesn't like it. He doesn't want to lay in it. And he really just doesn't want to have anything to do with it. Guess who does love the dog bed more than anything? He spends about 80% of his time in this bed using it exactly as intended.
Come here. Ready? Come over here and lay down. Come here and lay down. Come here and lay down, Jojo.
Yep, you guessed it. It's the cat. Even though you can plan till your heart's content, sometimes things just don't go exactly as planned, and that's okay.
Good boy. Good boy. Lay down. Lay down. Good boy. Oh, such a good boy.
I thank everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in my next video.